Alright, y'all. So today's challenge is to talk about our favorite book. And you all know what my favorite book is if you've been watching literally any of my videos, probably. Maybe not the challenge videos of late, but literally any of the other videos, you probably already know my favorite book. But today I'm going to make that video on why it's my favorite book. And I'm gonna include some reasons maybe that I haven't mentioned. Hopefully. I may have mentioned them before. This may just be a repeat of everything you can find in my other videos, but you know, it's a challenge video and I'm up for the challenge, so let's get started. My favorite book is The Song of Achilles, and I got this out of a box for you guys so I could hold it and I could just show you the beauty of it. I really wish that I had the cover actually that had the heart with the bow. I don't know. I think that's really cool. This cover is really cool, but I really like that cover too. I'm contemplating buying it so I have both of them, but that seems a little excessive. So anyway, The Song of Achilles is my favorite book. One, because just the characters themselves are fantastic and lovable, and Achilles is not made into this bad temper tantrum guy like you would think from the Iliad. He has soul and, reasons for his actions that make sense, and it's wonderful, and I think it's fantastic that Madeline Miller gave such a strong voice to Patroclus, because he's often forgotten about, even though he's the turning point in the Iliad, and literally they wouldn't have won the war if he hadn't dressed up as Achilles and gone out and fought. So, I don't know why people are sleeping on Patroclus, but Madeline Miller sure isn't. And all of this book is told through the perspective of Patroclus, so you get to see Achilles through Patroclus's eyes, and it's wonderful. So, when I said that he had heart and stuff, it's mainly because it's told through Patroclus's eyes, and Patroclus, knows Achilles, super well, and, knows his reasonings and everything. And you may be wondering, if this is the first time you've ever heard about the Song of Achilles, why that is. Well, let me tell you something. Patroclus grew up with Achilles. He was banished from his home and sent to live with Achilles. So he grew up with Achilles, and around when they were teenagers, they realized that they had feelings for each other and, started becoming boyfriends. I like to use the term lovers because boyfriends was not a term that they would have used, because boyfriend is a very new term. But yeah, they were lovers, and not in the pederastic sense that ancient Greece is so fond of, because, well, in this book, they're roughly the same age, but in the mythology, I think Patroclus is a little bit older than Achilles, and I still don't think the relationship was pederastic, because, well, no one could figure out who topped to begin with. People fought over that at Aeschylus and Plato. And also, their relationship just doesn't seem pederastic. So for those of you unaware, pederasty is the practice of a old-ish, usually probably 30s or higher, man taking somebody who is real young, teens, maybe actually probably preteens, because they didn't like it when they grew a beard. So preteens as their lover, and taught them how to do sex stuff. It was a time in ancient Greece. So yeah, I don't think the relationship was pederastic, guys. Mainly because I don't think that there was that big of an age difference between them. And two, because they viewed each other as equals, and in pederasty, like, they don't view each other as equals. One is confirmed, like, superior, and one is confirmed, like, not superior, like, submissive, and is just there to, like, learn and knows nothing. So, like, I don't think it was a pederastic relationship, and I have written a paper on that fact. I used Aeschylus's lost play, Achilles. It's a trilogy of plays, actually, and I used the Myrmidons specifically because that's when Patroclus dies, and Achilles laments how he never gets to worship Patroclus's thighs again. And that leads you to the conclusion that Patroclus was the bottom. And if Patroclus is the older one and he's the bottom, then his relationship with Achilles is not pederastic. I am rambling for quite some time about the relationship not being pederastic, but I am very passionate about that, and I wrote a paper on it for Theater History 1, and it's near to my heart, and I will fight people on it. I will also fight people on the fact that they were cousins, because I asked my humanities professor if they were cousins or not, and he said that they were fourth cousins 3 times removed, which technically makes them cousins. But does it actually practically make them cousins? No, because you can get married to your fourth cousin 3 times removed in the United States. It's not illegal. So, fight me. Anyway, The Song of Achilles is my favorite book because I love Patroclus and Achilles, as you can tell, and it does not shy away from that fact. In fact, The Song of Achilles is all about Achilles and Patroclus' relationship, and as it develops, and it's real good. But anyway, The Song of Achilles is also my favorite book because, I don't know, I just really like the writing in this book. I know some people complain about the writing in this book because they don't think it fits with mythology, and it's too simplistic, I guess. But I love the fact that Madeline Miller took the Iliad, which is not the most accessible book, and took a story from that and made it super accessible, and just anybody could read this book and understand what's going on. You don't have to have a background knowledge in mythology to know what's going on. And it's just so great because it lets you just enjoy the story without having to have any prior knowledge like you do for the Iliad or like you do for the Odyssey. All right. So, this is the part where we get a little real. So this book saved my life, essentially. I wasn't reading, and you guys know that. It was the first book I read after being depressed and shit. But you don't know how depressed I was really at the time. I moved from my house. I moved away for college, and literally, I felt so alone because, I felt like I didn't have any friends, and, I had a dog, but I was, terrible at taking care of her. It was a mess, and, I literally was it wouldn't be a bad thing if I killed myself. So, I was this was just kind of a thought in the back of my mind as I went through the days. And, once I saw this book mentioned on Tumblr. That's how I found out about it. I was just aimlessly scrolling through Tumblr, and I saw all these people talking about this book called The Song of Achilles, and I was what is that? And I saw that it had like queer rep in it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna read it, despite the fact that I hadn't read anything in over a year. So I went to the bookstore and I picked it up and I read it, and I was like, holy shit, I want to learn so much more about the mythology behind this. I can't kill myself, because I can't do that and kill myself at the same time. So, like, it saved my life. I don't know. It means so much to me. And I really need to reread it again and enjoy it again. But I haven't read it since I first read it. And when I first read it, I just loved it. And yeah, now I have like merch and shit. Like, if you look on my water bottle, I have an Achilles and Patroclus sticker. And I have a Patroclus and Achilles sticker on my laptop. It says, name one hero who was happy. You can't. And Achilles is the background on my phone. And y'all, just, this book basically saved my life, because I had something to look forward to, and I had something that I wanted to learn about. And when I got to my Humanities 1 class, I got to that class the semester after I finished this book, because this book took me essentially a semester to read because, depression. But, so when I got into that class, I was, like, eager to learn, like, all I could about, like, ancient Greece, and just, it was great, and I enjoyed that class so much. It's even, like, the non-ancient Greece stuff, I enjoyed that class so much. But, anyway, that's why it's my favorite book. That's why I don't know if any other book, even if it's technically better, I don't know if it'll surpass this book, just because that book has I have such an emotional attachment to this book, because, like, it saved my life, essentially. So I'm gonna stop rambling now, because by now you basically know every reason why this is my favorite book, and I will see you guys in the next video. Go read the Song of Achilles if you haven't already, because it's a great book. Bye, guys.